on NTA Asaba, Channel 11, the station that adds value to society. And I'm your host, Faith Herrero. Today's show promises to be fun because you've got something to take from in our various segments. Sit back and enjoy the show. Saturday's show, as you know, is a program that has different segments. We have the discussion segments, we have the health segments, we have the market segment. So we have something for you today. But before that, I will be starting this morning with the discussion segment. And I have gentlemen in the studio with me. But before we do that, I would like to tell you that ask if you know that persons with disability make up a significant portion of the society and that they have so much to offer. Today on Saturday Show Live, we'll be exploring the world of orientation, empowerment, and employment, and highlighting successes and challenges of our guests. It's good we are there. So, yes, our guest in the studio today, we have Dr. Ifeanyi Chukuni, the President, Delta Association of Persons with Disability. So it's good having you in the studio.
Good morning, viewers. Thank you for having me.
Yes. And we also have Barrister Kingsley Ehenseri Akpedeni, the Board of Trustee, members of General Secretary, Okwe Union, and General Secretary, Okwe Union Worldwide. So it's good having you this morning.
Good morning, viewers.
It's good. So, as we begin this morning, I think I should start with you. Yes. So, can you share a story with us on your personal story, how and experiences living with disability?
All right, for anyone living with disability, it is usually challenging and Herculean growing up. I recall growing up how I used to weep that out of 8 children, I'm the only one afflicted with disability. I was actually struck by polio at a tender age of 1 year and 6 months. Life was not easy, but I immediately realized that education is the bedrock that can lead to individual growth. So I embraced education, and I studied up to the doctorate degree at the University of Lagos, and today I hold that doctorate degree in socio-political philosophy. So, like I said, education prepared me for the challenges of life. And through that education, I was able to gain employment immediately after leaving the University of Lagos, the first degree, with Bellevue Airlines Limited, which at that time was an international carrier. And that job took me to over 35 countries of the world. And as a country manager, I was able to impact on the society. So, in a nutshell, once anybody with disabilities gain education, he will be able to grow in the society. That is why in the disability community, we always strive for equal opportunities. Because it is that equal opportunities that will provide us with a level playing field to actually live our life's potentials.
Thank you so much. So, in the course of your education, was there any challenge? Did you have any form of challenges?
Yes, as a result of my condition, of course. Then, at the University of Lagos, there was no elevator.
Okay.
And our classes usually held at the 4th floor in the Faculty of Arts building.
Okay.
So, I have to walk through many staircases to get to the lecture room. That was not easy, but once there is determination and a strong will, you'll be able to surmount any problem that you face. There were challenges, but they were easily overcome.
So that means your determination made you to overcome those challenges that you faced then.
Exactly.
Okay. So what you're telling people out there is that they should be determined in whatever they are doing. Once they are focused, they will move.
Exactly the point.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, up to you, sir. You heard his story. Can you tell us yours?
Yes, so maybe because of time constraint,
Yeah.
I will just highlight one or two.
Okay.
I am a product of the University of Benin. Incidentally, I got struck by the condition that caused my disability when I was about 1.5 years old too, and he's about the same time. He says 1 year 6 months.
Yeah.
Mine it was injection induced when I was just 1.5 years old. I was already running in the house, but after that injection from the hospital, General Hospital Sapele, government hospital actually, my parents ended up not having anything from the government. I never had any support for my education from the government, despite the fact that it was a government institution that did this to me, that I'm almost a cripple today. You see, but let me just say, in the University of Benin, for example, in those days, students hop from one lecture venue to another.
Yeah.
So sometimes you end in a class by 12 noon, another class starts several kilometers away. So so of course, that disadvantage is there. Others will go and take all the seats before you'll be able to walk slowly to that other venue. So you have natural disadvantages of persons with disabilities. But of course, as you said, as you conclude with his own determination over, because you have to start reading on time because you're already disadvantaged in terms of ways in relation to others. You see, so and one challenge again.
Okay.
In the society generally, is that when a person with disability is outspoken, many persons in society don't like that person.
Oh, why do you think so?
I'll give you this, I'll explain.
Yes.
Now, a person with disability, the society generally think that they should be pitied. And someone that should be pitied should not be in a condition to not have a voice. So the moment you have a voice to challenge the status quo, they will say, when you dey sorry for him, so you need a sorry for himself. That is what many people say, and that is very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. So that means many persons now take persons with disability are not having the right to be outspoken. You see? So it's a challenge. It's a huge challenge, and then people should know that persons with disabilities have a right to be heard. Have a right to the dignity of the human person. And the dignity of the human person also reflects your right to express, freedom of expression, and to express what you don't like in any circumstance.
Okay, so in the instance you gave that, when you were in the University of Benin, going from one lecture to the other at different points, it's always a challenge. By the time you get there, other people who have gotten there before you would have taken seats.
The seats of the front.
Are you saying that there was no arrangement made for people with disability in that
Not at all. But we thank God that there are some laws now, like the Disability Act, which has been domesticated. We commend the government of the Delta State Governor, Elder Sheriff Oberori, for assenting to that before domesticating it. So you now have a situation where, for example, when there's required to be a queue of persons, persons with disability are exempted from the queue, and those managing that queue are supposed to attend to persons with disability earlier. So there are a lot of exceptions that have been put in place, and so if that act had been in place then maybe the management of such lecture venues would have reserved some seats for persons with disability.
Thank you so much. Sir, I'm still on you. Also, you told us your experience, how you became, you got this condition, that when you were in tender age, it was through an injection and all that. So from that lesson that you learned, how are you now, how do you put things together to ensure that your own children doesn't go through such?
Yes, we actually were here to represent an association, Deltans Association of Persons with Disabilities. In fact, one of the reasons we established that association is for orientation of the general public, both the government and parents, guidance of persons with disabilities. So, for example, very soon we're going to be having different enlightenment programs around the 25 local government areas in Delta State, so that parents will not hide their children who have disability. Do you know some persons, when visitors come, they try to hide, yes, because maybe their appearance in their eyes don't look dignifying enough, don't look beautiful enough, so they try to hide them, to say, don't come out. So that is one thing that we must avoid in our society if we want persons with disabilities to have that sense of belonging, to have that psychological, it's a psychological thing. When you that means the person's growth will be retarded, whether intellectually and even physically. So it's Delta Association of Persons with Disabilities will be embarking upon different enlightenment programs, so that parents will be, whenever anything happens, they will be proactive to ensure that there are solutions to many of these problems.
Bringing me down to yourself now. How proactive are you, regarding your own what happened to you, so that's such.
I am a legal practitioner.
Okay.
If that happens to anybody around, of course, the person has a right to take the matter up immediately against the institution that does it, whether it's private or so that solution will be. I believe that if my condition had been taken up immediately, maybe my condition would have been a bit better than this. And many persons that the thing happens to ended up being crippled today. I managed to work because my parents, my father, a retired teacher, my father ensured that he took me to Igbobi, where there was this physiotherapy that strengthened this wound that would have probably not even have any life now. So I would have been crippled today. So you must talk out. As parents, you must cry out, even though you think that you are being oppressed, your child is being oppressed. Cry out. These Delta Association of Persons with Disabilities are valuable for you to reach out to. So I will take up your matter.
All right. So you are there to reach out to those who have no
capacity to take matters up. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. So I'll back to you now. Yes. Like now, unemployment and career development. You told us yours. What about, what are the career goals and aspirations for those? How do you work on them, your association?
Yes, it is by the way of mentorship, and then engaging in partnership with corporate bodies and some agencies. For instance, Delta Association of Persons with Disabilities currently has a partnership with the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, and we are collaborating with them. Apart from the orientation that my fellow member has demonstrated, we are collaborating with them in the area of empowerment, because empowerment is key. Usually, members of the general public tend to think that for anybody who lives with a disability, alms giving or handout would immediately solve the problem. But that is not really true. Apart from that equal opportunity that I mentioned earlier, there is also need for economic power. We all know how tough it is in Nigeria today for even the able-bodied people to fend for themselves. Now, how much more those who are afflicted with one form of deformity or the other. So, that ability to live independently should be the focus. That you are afflicted with one form of disability or other is not a death sentence. It is not. And what parents and guardians do not know is that God has a way of actually advancing other parts of the body that are not afflicted by this deformity. That is why you could see somebody who cannot write with his hand because he has no hands, being able to write with his feet. Okay, so we have to provide the necessary support to anybody who is afflicted with disability, but who has the wherewithal to be successful in life. So my association is providing the enabling support to members, and that is why we are going to tour the 25 local government areas of Delta State, starting from this Easter period in Delta South, to actually enlighten parents, guardians, persons with disability, and we are doing that in collaboration with NSCDC and other corporate bodies.
Okay, in collaboration with NSCDC. Okay, so how does NSCDC come into this?
Very good question, madam. Unknown to us, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has a unit for persons with disabilities. And this is the only security agency that has that, because I was struck when I knew that. So we immediately paid a visit to the commandant of the NSCDC in Asaba here, and he gave us all the support that he will stand by us to make sure that we fulfill our objectives. And we are working with them very happily. We went to Isoko North local government area with the personnel of NSCDC, and we met the local government chairman and secretary, and I am very proud to say that yes, we find them a very worthy partner.
Okay, you find them a very worthy partner. That's very good, and we are happy to hear that they are working with you. Sir, this question I want to ask. You've already told us some common misconceptions about people living with disability in this society. So now what kind of support do you wish people with disability could access?
Thank you. Support can be from private individuals, corporate organizations, and even the government. Now, persons with disabilities are about six kind or clusters. The physically challenged, the spinal cord injury, the hearing impaired, that's the deaf, then the visually impaired, that's the blind, ex-lepers, because leprosy is disability, and I think one other one. Now, the government has a strong role, a very important role to play. Because two of us that are here now, if not for education, it has been difficult for us to live independently now. So education is key to the emancipation of the person with disability. So we're calling on the Delta State government to ensure that there is the establishment of a school of the blind in Delta State. When Deltans with visual impairment want to go to school, they go to Ondo State or Lagos State. And this is a state that is about the richest in Nigeria. So we must have established a school of the blind for Delta State. And many persons don't know how many the deaf person, how many hearing impaired people are there. There's so many. So we need a school, a special school, for because you are an illiterate if you cannot understand sign language as a hearing person that is deaf. So we need such a school in every local government area in Delta State. So it's already discrimination. If persons that have hearing impairments cannot access basic education, and it's a right, we can even go to court to have it enforced. But that's not what we're thinking about. We want to convince the government, please let every local government area have a school, a special school for hearing impaired. So you have sign language literacy improved upon.
Anyway,
that is even why many of us tend to see the deaf as easily angry. You see, so education is key.
Yes, in fact, we don't have time. We don't have time. More people to quickly, sir. I just want to your last word, the conclusion. What advice would you give to persons out there that just started this journey of disability? What encouragement do you have for them?
All right, they should not lose hope.
Okay.
They should remain focused, determined. Have the mind that this is what I want in life and go for it, no matter the cost. Then on the part of the general public to please give support to persons with disability, and the government, having established the Delta State Commission, is already in the assented bill by the government. Please, my appeal is that a person with disability heads that commission in an executive capacity. We have what it takes. It's just a privilege.
Well, they are hearing you, so they might just give that opportunity to you. Well, this is where we'll take a short break. When we return, the discussion continues.
Join us every Saturday to make your events fun-filled on Saturday Show Live for an unforgettable experience. Love is in the air. We celebrate the union of couples in a special way. New home, new beginnings. Join us on Saturday Show Live for your house-warming event and get ready for an exciting occasion. Welcome to the world, little one. We're honored to host a heart-warming baby dedication ceremony of you. That's not all. We catch you live on our show, plus exciting performances and more. Want to reach a wider audience? Advertise with us on Saturday Show Live. It's a dream come true. Don't miss out. Tune in to Saturday Show Live every Saturday at 11 a.m. to 12 noon on NTA Asaba Channel 11, the station that brings the nation to your doorstep. Also, follow us live on our social media handles on NTA Asaba Live on Facebook and YouTube. Saturday Show Live, where every Saturday counts.
Yeah, we are still on the issue of persons with disability in Delta State. And right here now we have the NSCDC, that's ASCI, Nwabweze Faith.
Nwabweze Faith.
Okay, Nwabweze Faith.
Yes.
Sorry for the wrong pronunciation.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
And to my right, I have Comrade Simeon Ikuta. Sir, so I think I should start with you because I guess you are the head, you know. So I want to ask, as a leader, you are the leader of this, as a leader of the grassroots of persons with disability in the community, what have you identified as a challenge and what solution do you prefer?
Yes, as a leader
Yeah.
of the grassroots person with disability,
Yeah.
in fact, there are a lot of challenges even in the area of parents and guardians.
Okay.
Because I visited so many communities in the rural areas, I can find that most of the persons with disability are even being hidden in a secret room, even very local, in a way that is not suitable to human person, and they are not ready to bring them to light.
Okay.
Even some of them are still in the age of education that they can go to school, where the parents feel, I interviewed so many of them, they feel they are even ashamed of bringing them out
So
to the public.
so their reasons for hiding them is that they are embarrassed or what? What's that?
And they would few of the parents I discussed with,
Yes.
they told me that some said that it's not only the child they are having, some even said it is shame of them to be carrying this kind of child to school. So I told them that my mother was even backing me to school in early 70s. That's why I was able to finish my secondary school. My mother backed me from primary school to secondary school level when I was schooling.
So what are the solutions that you prefer in this kind of situation? What solution do you think you give to them?
Yes, the only way forward is for the government to establish a particular body. Because even in 70s, we used to have this area welfare officer, social welfare. They do go around from house to house. They were even visiting my mother, who was taking care of me at that time. But this time around, we don't have anything like that. So the Ministry of Women Affairs or any other social organ in the government should be properly established to reach out the grassroots persons with disabilities,
Okay.
especially in the area of education.
Thank you, sir. I'll come back to you because it's just the government and some agencies that you highlighted. I'll come back to you. So, yes, the only female in the house. I want to know how, yours is a law enforcement agency, NSCDC, isn't it?
Yes.
So, how is as a law enforcement agency, how do your operation impact persons with disability?
Thank you very much. Last time they visited my command,
Yes.
they were well received by my Commandant Matthew S. Ovie,
Okay.
that assured them assures the delegation of synergy, partnership on all fronts to educate and enlighten the public concerning persons with disability and opportunities for them to have empowerment, to have education, and in security way, he assures them that they will give them maximum security.
Okay.
They will always be there for them. NSCDC will be there for persons with disability. But that does not give them the right to commit crimes.
Okay.
Because if committed and caught, that person will be prosecuted. Being a disabled person does not mean you are above the law.
Okay.
They are not above the law, but they will be well protected in any area of life. And he also added that if all you see, if all you see is all you see, then you see nothing. Because disability is not a death sentence.
That's all right.
It's not a death sentence. We only have disability here. In our mind, it's not disability. Like my own perspective, disability, if you see a disabled person coming, does not mean I am coming to beg you for money, but that respect must be given to them in the society. If they are educated, we have people who are disabled that are leading in many organizations.
That's true.
They are leading. If opportunities are given to them, they will do great things in the society than what we are seeing now. So we are also urging the government to support.
Okay. So you also
Also make the country, this Delta state, move forward.
Yes. Thank you so much. I'll come to you for your last line, but then let me just... So, you know, when you were enumerating the solutions you tried to prefer, you talked about government and you talked about some other NGOs. But you never make reference to the parents themselves, parents, caregivers, and maybe those that are very close even to the persons with disability. So how do you want to work on that? Because you told me that when you went, you know, to visit some, they were hiding them, and these people are people close to them. They could be their caregivers, they could be their parents. So what do you have to say to that to take care of that area?
In that aspect, I did not, or let me say, I'm not tired of reaching out to the parents and guardians, to those critical persons with disabilities. I'm still reaching out to them, and even I'm quite sure that in this orientation and employment program that is coming up soonest, I believe all the parents will be able to bring their children to the center.
Okay.
So I have done that. I've visited them and I'm still reminding them, and 90% of them are giving me positive answer.
Okay, so you're also working on the parents and the caregivers.
Yes.
Yes. So this your program that is coming up, how prepared are you, you know, as a leader? How prepared are you?
Yes, I'm well prepared for the program, especially in the area of accommodation, that is the venue for the program,
Okay.
which is being released to me by the Isoko North Local Government Council Chairman.
Yes.
And it's given to me to be used free for the program.
Okay.
And also, I'm happy the chairman also devotes himself to be the district chairman of the program on the day. I also reach out to so many of our political class in the local government, and many of them have promised to be there as part of Christian organization. I also prepare my person living with disability who are manufacturers, because I have some intelligent ones who are manufacturers. They can produce cream, soaps, different things like that as part of fashion design. They are ever ready to come with their little tools they are having
Yes.
to present their practical example to the general public.
Sir, indeed, with all this enumeration, it means you are indeed prepared. You are
Yes.
indeed prepared for the program.
Yes.
And we are wishing you success,
Amen.
in the program.
Yes.
So finally, your last word, as a law enforcement agency, what would you tell the people, the public, how to relate, with people with disability?
My advice to the public is they should not look at them as disabled. They
Okay.
should look at them as a normal human being like them.
Yes.
They should not be discriminating
Okay.
them, because discriminating these people is no good at all. You make them isolate themselves.
Mm.
And to the persons with disability out there, if you isolate yourself, you're doing yourself no good. You cannot come out and express yourself. If you cannot change the situation in the society, you change your own circumstances.
Yeah.
When you change your circumstance around people, they will look at you as one of them. They will not discriminate you.
Thank you
because
so much.
because they have right to vote
Yes.
and be voted for.
Oh,
They have right to live the way other people live.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Well,
God bless.
at this point, like you heard them say, we should give support to those living with disability. Living in disability does not mean a death sentence. That's to those of you. Don't hide yourself, bring out yourself. There's a program that they are even working on now. It's a way of reaching out to you and positioning you well. And the government is also ready. The law enforcement agency is ready. Some NGOs are ready. So bring out yourself and get support so that you will be part of building this nation. Well, at this point, we'll call for a break. When we return, the program continues.
Join us every Saturday to make your events fun-filled on Saturday Show Live for an unforgettable experience. Love is in the air. We celebrate the union of couples in a special way. New home, new beginnings. Join us on Saturday Show Live for your house-warming event and get ready for an exciting occasion. Welcome to the world, little one. We're honored to host a heart-warming baby dedication ceremony of you. That's not all. We catch you live on our show, plus exciting performances and more. Want to reach a wider audience? Advertise with us on Saturday Show Live. It's a dream come true. Don't miss out. Tune in to Saturday Show Live every Saturday at 11 a.m. to 12 noon on NTA Asaba Channel 11, the station that brings the nation to your doorstep. Also, follow us live on our social media handles on NTA Asaba Live on Facebook and YouTube. Saturday Show Live, where every Saturday counts.